Hey Joe, I've got a question. Why did your ticket to London suddenly cost 40% more than it did last year? Go on, guess.
Uh, Inflation? Greed? Is the pilot charging for premium air now?
Valid guesses, Joe. But the real reason is that the map you're looking at is technically wrong. See, while you see a straight line over the globe, major airlines are currently forced to fly massive, multi-hour detours to avoid conflict zones in the Middle East. We're talking about avoiding entire countries like they're playing a high-stakes game of the floor is lava. Every extra minute in the air burns through thousands of gallons of fuel and extra crew hours. And because airlines aren't charities, they are passing those massive detour bills directly to, you guessed it, your credit card. It's not just a few extra miles, Joe. We are talking about a total redrawing of the global sky. Recent data shows that international airfares have spiked by up to 23% in hubs like the UAE, and over 30% in parts of Southeast Asia, directly mirroring the intensity of conflict zone avoidance.
So what? They just take the long way and I pay for the extra gas? That doesn't sound like it should double my ticket price.
Oh, it's much worse than just gas. Think about the London to Mumbai route. It's one of the busiest in the world. Usually it's a straight shot. But now, most airlines have to choose between a 500-mile detour south through Saudi Arabia or a 600-mile loop north through Turkey. That adds up to 90 minutes of extra flight time. That 90 minutes burns an extra 8,000 liters of jet fuel. At 2026 prices, that's an extra $25,000 per flight. Multiply that by 20 flights a day, plus extra crew pay and maintenance, and suddenly, that budget ticket to India you saw last month for $600? It's now $1,200. Think of the sky like a giant invisible highway, Joe. In 2023, the Middle East was the grand central station of global travel. Fast, direct, and wide open. But today, the highway is full of road closed signs.
Wait, so they can't just fly higher? It's a big sky, right?
If only. Most airlines are now avoiding the Tehran FIR, that's Iranian airspace, and the Baghdad FIR entirely. This has created a choke point. Instead of a straight line, pilots are forced into these wild, high-altitude zigzags. They have to thread the needle through narrow corridors over Turkey or swing way south through Egyptian and Saudi Arabian skies, which are now so crowded it's like rush hour in Manhattan, but at 35,000 feet.
That sounds incredibly stressful for the pilots.
Stressful doesn't even cover it. Pilots now have to deal with GPS spoofing, where ghost signals make their navigation systems think they are hundreds of miles off course. Imagine your Google Maps suddenly telling you you're in the middle of the ocean while you're driving to the grocery store. ATC workers are managing twice the traffic in half the space, all while watching for hazard warnings that can close a route in seconds. Now, Joe, put on your seatbelt because the math is about to get heavy. When a flight from London to Singapore has to dodge conflict zones, it's not just adding a few minutes. We're talking about an extra 2 to 3 hours in the air, every single flight.
Okay, so I watch one more movie and eat an extra bag of pretzels. Big deal. Does that really justify a price hike?
It's a massive deal, Joe, because of the fuel weight paradox. See, to fly 3 extra hours, you need more fuel, but fuel is heavy. A Boeing 777 burns about 2,500 gallons of fuel per hour. To carry that extra fuel for the detour, the plane becomes significantly heavier, which means it has to burn even more fuel just to carry the weight of the extra fuel.
Wait, so they're burning fuel to carry the fuel that they're burning?
Exactly. It's an expensive, smoky cycle. On a typical long-haul detour, an airline might spend an extra $40,000 just on the weight penalty alone. And for the planet, that's an extra 100,000 kilograms of CO2 pumped into the atmosphere for a single trip. Multiply that by thousands of flights a month, and the environmental cost is staggering.
So my vacation is basically killing my bank account and the polar bears.
In a nutshell, Joe, It's the most expensive U-turn in history. Here's the thing, Joe. Even if fuel was free, these detours would still be costing you a fortune. Because planes don't just fly themselves, yet. We have to talk about the crew clock.
The crew? Don't they just sit there while the autopilot does the work? Just give them an extra coffee and keep going.
Absolutely not. Aviation laws are strict for a reason. Once a flight pushes past the 12.5-hour mark due to a detour, airlines are legally required to carry an augmented crew. That means instead of 2 pilots, they need 3 or 4. That's extra salaries, extra hotel rooms, and more reserve staff sitting around hubs in case a flight runs long. In 2026, some airlines have seen their crew costs jump by 15% just to keep the same number of planes in the air.
Okay, fine. Pilots need sleep. I get it. But what about the insurance thing you mentioned?
Ah, the war risk premium. Even if a plane isn't flying over a conflict, just being near a hazard zone causes insurance companies to freak out. Premiums for routes near the Middle East have surged by 20% to 30% this year alone. It's like trying to get car insurance while living next to a volcano. Even if your house doesn't burn, the risk makes the bill explode.
And I'm guessing this messes up my Amazon packages too?
Big time. Half of the world's cargo travels in the belly of passenger planes. When a flight is rerouted or canceled, the domino effect kicks in. One delay in Dubai causes a missed connection in London, which delays a truck in New York. We're seeing logistical waves where entire hub schedules have to be reset just to accommodate these new 90-minute delays. So, Joe, is this just a bad year for your vacation? Or is the very soul of travel changing?
Please tell me the Floor's Lava game ends soon. I just want a cheap flight to see a big clock in London.
The game isn't ending, Joe. The players are just getting new gear. Airlines are ditching short-range thinking. In 2026, we're seeing a massive shift toward ultra-long-range aircraft like the Airbus A321XLR and the Boeing 777X. These aren't just planes, they're detour specialists. They're designed to fly 10 or 15 hours straight without blinking, allowing airlines to bypass bottleneck hubs entirely.
So, they're just going to fly around the problems forever.
Precisely. But that forever detour means the days of the $400 cross-continental ticket are likely gone. Airspace is the new gold. Between green fuel levies, aging fleets, and these massive detours, we're looking at a permanent price inflation. Global travel is becoming a strategic luxury again. You'll have to be a smarter traveler, booking months in advance, using AI to find ghost routes, and accepting that a 12-hour flight is now 15.
Well, if I have to spend 15 hours on a plane, they better at least have good movies.
One can dream, Joe. One can dream. But what about you? Would you pay 40% more for a ticket just to avoid a 3-hour layover? Or are you embracing the slow travel life? Let us know in the comments. If this video helped you make sense of why your wallet is crying, hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss our next deep dive into the world's weirdest economies. See you in the skies!